Welcome back to World of Warships, and in this video I picked 5 battles to show the problematic with the new captain skills and the actual effect. Now, I theorized a lot with the last video that I actually, at the point of recording this video, have not even released, and I just wanted to show it to you. Yes, the last real World of Warships videos have been a while, but I just wanted to show how disastrous and just brainlessly stupid the game has become for me with the new captain skills. Now, for all of you that play other games and do not really come to my channel for, the occasional, let's say, monthly or once every 2 months World of Warships video, I really like the game. I am up for naval warfare. This is why I'm also excited for War Thunder, naval ship sections. And this is how fast stuff can turn into rubbish. This is actually the Scharnhorst, which is the tier 7 premium German battleship, which has fantastic gun handling, but massive drawbacks at the same time. And this is an entire battle that I show you from start to finish. And I started here on the right hand side. I hope you can see it on the radar. It's sadly relatively small, or the minimap on the right hand bottom corner. And I just started. That's the entire battle. And so it begins. There is a tier 8 carrier. Okay? And the new skills allow actually also for a buff for carriers. Previously, you needed a 15-point captain to get the air superiority skill, which gives you more bombers and fighters in one squadron. Here I have 2 fires from the dive bombers, and I did not see that torpedo bombers and turned the wrong way because I wanted to get away from that battleship. That's the game for me. I do not even care about repairing, because the effect that I get, and obviously I take a citadel as well, or a very big salvo, I do not even care about repairing. The battle is done for me. And I do not pop the premium repair consumable, because it's not worth it. I would waste money, because this battleship would delete me, nevertheless with the next salvo. And I know, the second he fires, I'm done. I'm done. There is nothing you can do like that. No tactics, no turning, no avoiding. That's it. With 1 carrier strike. That's it. So that is the next battle. And I just wanted to again show you how quickly it can end. Now, I pushed together with my team here, and now I want to go for the center. And I'm full health up until this point. And I turned at the wrong moment. Torpedoes are incoming. And of course, I catch one. And I get set on fire. And I catch actually 2 torpedoes. So I have to burn my repair consumable. And now I try to do anything. Okay, my repair party consumable is on cooldown. And again, the captain skills. I did not go for the fire prevention skill, because it would cost me so many options. But I have to pay a bitter price. I get set on fire again on one location. I tickle down. I get hammered with HE. I try to turn away, try to run into cover. But look at this, how it all goes down. And I burn in a second location and a third location, just like that. And there is nothing that I can do. I have over 40 seconds up until the repair party consumable comes off cooldown again. I fire my torpedoes in desperation into the fog, the smoke, where I cannot do anything. I just burn and burn and burn. This patch has buffed HE and nerfed the fire prevention skill availability. So this, I went from full health into this, in this, tunnel designed map. This is so typical wargaming. They do the very same in World of Tanks, and there is nothing I can do except die. What is the skill? What can I do at this point? There is nothing I can do except dying. And then we also have this scene here. Again, I'm nearly full health, or let's say 3/4, with the repair party consumable available. I pushed again with my team. You know, there are many ships close by. And then there is a Russian premium cruiser, the Kutuzov, which is extremely hyper annoying. Behind that smoke screen there is another Bismarck, but that's not the problem. And again, I burn in 2 locations. And what can I do? Of course, I use the repair party consumable. What else can I do? And while the fire got extinct, another fire got set because of the Kutuzov's fire. I fire at the Bismarck because the Kutuzov is a Russian premium cruiser with smoke and one of the most ridiculous high explosive damage game for game. And watch the incoming salvos. Just watch it. I'm half health. The repair party is off cooldown 1 minute. Again, I use the premium version that gives me a faster cooldown, but still over 50 seconds left. Hopefully I don't get set on fire. I burn in 2 separate locations, again with 1 salvo. But that is not enough. No. Of course it is not enough. And I burn in a 3rd location. This patch is just hilariously broken. Everybody saw that coming. Everybody says, yeah, you have more choices. Yeah, now you have the choice of dealing no damage or burning down. This is just hilariously broken. I will die. And you know, there is nothing I can do. And that torpedo bomber drop was completely unnecessary, because I would have died anyway. But you know, kill securing is a thing in World of Warships as well. And with my last dying breath, I set a fire. The next scene is kind of different, because now it goes all disastrously wrong for the enemy team. Or partially for 2 of their ships. Watch that battle. That is my Bismarck in the next battle. It is a tier 10 battle, and that is a Montana, the American tier 10 battleship. We are both full health nearly, and I can't turn away, otherwise I would receive massive amounts of damage. And oh boy, there is a Japanese destroyer as well. Holy Christ. The only thing I can do is giving a nice warm greeting with my 380mm guns and delete him with the front guns. That was the good thing about German battleship guns, because he was diagonal to me. I could overmatch the armor, and you know, then the shells traveled the entire length of the ships up until the point the fuse delay actually you know, popped the damage, so to speak. And now I'm exactly there where you want to be as a German battleship commander. And even though the UI doesn't like me in this situation, I don't even care. Watch this. Turtleback versus non-turtleback. 4 citadels. 4 citadels in 1 salvo. Just like that. 45,000 damage. This is the power of German battleship guns and their characteristic at extreme close quarters against heavily armored battleships. I can even citadel a Yamato, but I can't citadel cruisers because I overmatch, or overpenetrate rather. And now the problem is, there was a British light cruiser that was just waiting for it. I mark him for my secondaries, but I know what's coming. And look at the acceleration. Yeah, Nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. But at least he paid for that with his life. But I think I did a nice trade. And that leads me to the next battle. Again in the Bismarck. And this time I'm actually on one of my favorite maps, where I always forget the name of it, but it doesn't matter. Ah yeah, it's the map called Neighbors. And this is a very good battle where I did a lot of damage. And yeah, then we discussed a little bit in chat about German battleships. And I focus on this Graf Spee, which is actually on a collision with another cruiser, which disappeared out of the sight, and of course just an overpenetration. There is a new skill, practically, that shows me how many people actually are aiming at me, and I'm like, ooh, 5 ships are aiming at me, I'm in the wrong position. This skill is helpful. You could argue, yes, that should be kind of, you know, your normal game sense, your normal, you know, intuition, but at some point the enemy does not look at the best targets, but maybe where the guns are pointing. And I did 12,000 damage on the Scharnhorst without a citadel damage. Obviously the Scharnhorst as well benefits from having a turtleback armor. So I aim at the Colorado. Armor-wise, the Colorado is really a tough nut to crack, especially at long ranges with the all-or-nothing armor, so you either get bounces or kind of non-penetrations or overpens. And so while 4 out of the 8 shots hit, 2 penetrations and 2 non-penetrations, where the shells didn't have the power. You know, I can citadel tier 10 battleships from point blank range, but I can't do it with that was just 1160 from 1 overpenetration. That shows you the battleship accuracy. Yeah, just 1 enemy is currently aiming at me, and look where I am. I'm in the middle of my team. We are lemming training hard, so I don't get shot at the moment as hard as, you know, usually when I lead. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the playstyle is like this. Play very defensively in the beginning, very defensively. Play like a Japanese battleship. I just tried out the, I think it's called the Nagato, the tier 7 Japanese battleship today. That is just awesome at range. Much bigger guns, 410mm with over 20km range as well. And just such a good dispersion pattern. It's amazing. Like 100,000 K damage or 100,000 damage without problems. Just sniping from the back. Kind of boring but effective. And so now we actually are in close quarters again. So you don't have to search for close quarters engagements. You have to rely on the enemy coming to you, especially when somebody is chasing you. It's very difficult for them to hit you with torpedoes because you run away, you extend the distance. However, with your secondaries always can shoot at them as long as they are in range. And watch this Akitsuki here. Oh my. Yeah, those are all my secondaries, and he's such a lucky guy to not get hit like crazy. I turned into them because I knew that torpedoes were coming. You know, when you see a destroyer, you know that torpedoes are coming. And I thought this guy would have beached himself, but he didn't, sadly. So I even did not have to use my hydroacoustic search. But now I think it's time, because there are still 2 destroyers around and we don't know currently where they are. And it does not always have to be a destroyer that can long range shoot torpedoes. Japanese cruisers are notorious for doing this. Yeah, 3 over penetrations. Yeah. Is that a Chapayev? Yeah. Again, that was a huge volley, like 7,000 damage. Must have been big guns because I was actually angled. And my secondary is open up on the Akitsukui. He popped out again. I now have the undivided attention of many ships of the enemy team. I am in the front line. My team lemming trained to the left, and the entire enemy team went right. So I have to get rid of this Colorado. A Colorado, when shooting in my broadside, can do tremendous amounts of damage. I don't want this to happen. And now the hydroacoustic surge is still active, and I'm getting closer to the destroyer. I'm getting uncomfortably close. And I would have spotted him earlier, but the nerf to the German hydroacoustic surge and the Bismarck means that now I have to get uncomfortably close. And despite just having like a few seconds, my secondaries open up on him, and he stays spotted for some bizarre reason. He obviously got spotted by somebody else, but he went out of his own smoke screen because I spotted him. And so he was visible for the other ship on the other side of the smoke. The Colorado fires not at me, but I have to get rid of him. And it just took me a bit too long to mark him for secondaries, which I just do now. Probably I could have killed him by now, but it doesn't matter. And I again take a huge volley from the side, but I kill the Colorado with my secondaries. That's the nice thing. You do not always have to use your main guns to finish off low health enemies. And that is the magic and the selling point of German battleships. And there is another German battleship, and I'm again between the front lines where I do not want to be. And I lost a lot of unnecessary health. So I need to get behind this island to shield myself from those ships to my right. And then I have to take care of this German battleship to my left. So I need to turn around behind the island. There is a Scharnhorst, one last salvo at him. My secondary is already doing the work. I tried a little bit around with the skill settings because you can change them at the moment. And I tried like the HEAP skill, but it just resulted in less and less fires and not more, as I hoped, as you know, the little guns would get more penetrations. But it doesn't matter. A huge salvo here, 12,000 K into the Scharnhorst, 12,000 points of damage. And now secondaries versus secondaries. I know he has torpedoes. I know I have to turn away, and they have a 6-kilometer range. So I'm in the danger zone. But my secondaries work him over hard. And he actually lost a lot of health right there. And I try now to maneuver so that the torpedoes go right next to my ship. And that is a close call. Now we exceeded 100,000 damage, and I'm going for a repair here, extinguishing the fire, and I wait for the repair party consumable. And I turn around so that I can fire ASAP at the enemies while showing the least portion of my ship. So while I'm turning, I'm also angling, and now actually the dangerous time is over. I tried to shoot for the North Carolina, which is a pathetically armored ship in my opinion, but hey, whatever. So I switched to the Tirpitz, and I get a Citadel. So while he was turning, his ship was also kind of side capping, kind of, because of the turn like mine is doing right now, and that neglected the angle on the turtleback armor for the shell's trajectory. And I avoid here a lot of shots, and you know, Citadels on German high-tier battleships you know, tier 7 to tier 10 are really rare. There are many videos up on YouTube, you know, showing people in a test match, so to speak, where they're perfectly sideways on and they can't get a citadel out of a German battleship. But they can instantly delete a Yamato or a Montana or any other nation's battleship, therefore. So, I now pop my repair party consumable, but I have taken enough damage again, and I try to hit this North Carolina again. Our team is capturing the other cap zone. So we are going for B and C while they try to go for A. But A, there is currently a ship in there. So at the moment I'm safe from getting shot at, but I also can't return fire. And then there is the Scharnhorst. I mark him from secondaries and watch this battle. This is why the Bismarck is king and nothing else. I aim for the upper belt and did a lot of damage. I took like 1/4 of his hit points. He does an awesome amount of damage in return, but now my secondaries work him over. And he gets set on fire on 2 separate locations. And I reload in time to send him another greeting. And another big chunk of his health is going away. And now I try to turn to the left to deny him the revenge shot, so to speak, into my broadside. I heal up again. That is my last heal. I had to ditch Superintendent for the kind of secondary build. Another huge chunk of his health goes away, and I work him over with secondaries again. There you can see how it ticks down. But sadly it was not my kill, despite me taking away a lot of health from him. 161,000 damage. That is more than twice my own health. And the only citadel was actually on a German battleship at Tirpitz, the sister ship. So that was more than surprising. And over 140 secondary hits and 7 fires purely through secondaries. And I think the build that I have now is actually the best, where I go for demolition expert. I think the 150mm secondaries do the work, but destroyers really hate the 105mm, as they just have the insane rate of fire. The next thing is I actually have the adrenaline rage. I'm sorry, adrenaline rush. And my reload at this point of health is now like 22 seconds. Or 21.5, more than that. And now the 2 remaining battleships are on the other side, and those 2 North Carolinas, they have kind of a dance. And the enemy, North Carolina, has the advantage because he has 2 turrets in the front, while our North Carolina just has 1 turret in the back. But on the other side, you know, both are in secondary range of each other, which is the reason why the enemy North Carolina is burning. But it still has the health advantage. And now I try to close the distance ASAP. I try to snipe him here, and I mark him for secondaries. I'm not quite sure what to do right now. I have no health remaining and just 1 non-penetration, 1 shell shatter. And I decide myself to go for the risky maneuver here and go for this Tirpitz. The reload is down to 22 seconds. This is probably, in fact, the best tier 2 skill. And just 12 seconds after the salvo landed, I now have, you know, nearly the next shot in the barrel. I'm halfway through my reload. And another one with the front guns. He doesn't aim at me, he aims instead for our friendly North Carolina. This could end very badly for me if the North Carolina goes for me. And I mark then the Tirpitz for secondaries, and he does the drastic mistake and he turns into me, closing the distance to my secondaries. Fully upgraded with a fully secondary build. The Tirpitz just has a 6.8 including the flag. I have 7 kilometer space range, and there you can see the drastic difference. Yes, the Tirpitz has torpedoes, but again they have just a 6 kilometer range. And he's showing me broadside, and I rip out another healthy chunk of his hit points with the front guns, hopefully. Not quite what I hoped for, because he turned away. But again, that was a nice hell of fire. And we are up to nearly 174,000 damage. That is the best result for a long time, or in a long time rather. And then I marked the North Carolina here again. Yeah, those two, they had obviously a lot of fun. And the shell bounces. But I set the North Carolina on fire. This secondary storm from German battleships is just insane. But again, you have to trade a lot of survivability for it, which is, you know, always counterintuitive. And he got killed. Sadly, my shells didn't land. So yeah, let's have a quick look at the results. 189,000 credits. I have no premium account. This is not a premium ship. 3,940 experience for 183,000 damage. Nearly 200 secondary hits. 9 fire started. 1 base capture. 1,997 base experience. No, that was the first place. I had 1,900 and something with second place, and had just earned 41,000 silver for a very successful battle. So that shows you how, you know, unforgiving high tier gameplay is, and this is not even tier 9 or tier 10. So that's it from me today. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and give me a feedback on what you think about, you know, the new patch if you play World of Warships and watch my videos, which not a lot of people do. And yeah, give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we will see each other maybe on the oceans of World of Warships.